Yeah, but still no contact. I just, I think it's just day to day right now. Just, toe's a tough one. There's pain and all that. But the good thing when we watch him shooting right now, he's moving well. You know, just just no contact yet.
Is there any concern he wouldn't be ready for game one on Sunday?
Sure, sure. I mean, but I'm not going to make a judgment either way. But sure, there's some concern there.
I know you,
I could see it go either way. Let's put it. Is that fair?
You went with Sam twice for
Yeah.
Darius out. How do you think that? I mean, obviously the score would suggest it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But is that the right matchup for him?
Yeah, that's what we got to decide. And obviously, when we get to DG, we've talked about it. Haven't made a decision yet. I mean, we like Sam because he's two-way, and especially with, if Darius is going to be out, he can create advantages. Not in pick and roll, but with the off-ball screen stuff, and then he can hold his own defensively. But you could argue, do you go with a bigger body? Do you go with a Halliburton matchup? There's other. This series is different.
has this toe issue lingered longer than you anticipated?
No, I just, I know how they are. Like it's just not easy. Especially with all the start and stop he does. So no, I'm not surprised. It's not like something that just goes away like that, right? Like all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're better. I think it's something he's gonna have to deal with probably the rest of the playoffs.
Kyle Anderson of the Heat said that he thought you guys played better without Darius in the final 2 games. What do you make of that narrative?
I don't know. I don't listen to that. I think we're better with our all-star point guard, personally.
Kenny, why do you think your defense got better as you went along in the series, the Miami series?
Yeah, I think, like we started figuring some things out. Remember early we were having some issues with Davion Mitchell getting downhill. We kind of adjusted to putting a bigger player on him. I just think there were tweaks like that. How we were playing Bam in the pick and roll, that was another one. Started to jam him more so he didn't get that pocket pass.
What about your rebounding,
Yeah, I mean, it was a point of emphasis, and I think,
months, though, hasn't it?
yeah, I think we did a good job. Now Miami's not someone that sends someone to the. They're more transition defense. I don't know if that was a fair test. That being said, we were better, much better.
What is the greatest stress to your defense when playing a 5-out offense?
Oh. I mean, it's the hardest thing to guard in basketball is 5 shooters. It just is. So you got to decide how much you're gonna. It's the Boston conundrum. It's the Indiana. How much you're gonna switch? Are you gonna stay in coverage? Obviously against Miami, we were in coverage a lot, right? We didn't switch as much. We didn't. But this series could be different because of the 5-out, and you have more area to cover, and that, Chris, I think starts in transition too, right? So normal transition defense, you run to the paint, cover. They're running to spots on the 3-point line, so you have to change your or adjust your transition defense tactic.
Kenny, with that is different because you guys didn't find out you were playing Miami until like 48 hours before game one. But a lot of the conversation that we had that series was being about you guys more so than being about the opponent. How similar or different is that to this week prepping for him?
No, I do think we can turn it a little more scouting. We have kind of more days to prepare. So, I mean, listen, Dan, it's always about us. right? I just have that philosophy. You know, and by a long margin. But this helps us from a scouting standpoint. Be a little more prepared. The hard thing with Indiana, I don't think we've, if you look at our 4 games, like, is there any game where because there's so many different circumstances, we had guys out, they had guys out. Early, we hadn't made the trade. There was just a lot of, so sure, we can always take some things, but it's not like, man, we could really dive into our games against them because there was a lot of nuance to our matchups.
Kenny, with the 5-out lineup in mind, when you think about how impactful Jared Allen has been after the first series, now there's a series with a team that has the 5-out lineup, how important has it been for you guys to have the versatility of the regular season where he wasn't closing in some fourth quarters?
I mean, listen, we all know, JA's next step is be able to guard 5-out. I think it's a challenge, but he's more than capable with his versatility. It's more switching, his mindset. The talent's there, the defensive capability is there. But listen, we're gonna have to read the series. I will say this. They have 5-out, but we also have 2 bigs offensively. So they're going to have to guard us too, right? Like it's a hard guard for us, but I think when we play those 2 bigs together with our offensive rebounding, our pick and roll offense with J.A. rolling, they're going to have to, they're going to have to guard him. What might seem like a disadvantage for us on one end, it could be an advantage for us on the other.
Not to feed too much into the Kyle Anderson thing, but we'll give you the carpet here. What does Darius bring to this team that can't be replicated?
I mean, right? Speed, skill, smarts, and he's been our closer. Quite honest, end of games. It's been him all year. Elite shot maker, and then he's defensively he's smart. He's smart and he competes. And that's what we're asking of him, and what he's done all year. And we have people behind him that can support. Sure, there's the size thing, and he's working on that, right? We know his next thing is to continue to get stronger. Kind of that Steph evolution. How much stronger can he get? That'll be when he makes the next step. But as far as competitor, IQ, not back down. We've switched with them a lot this year. We'll do it in this series. I don't see it as like a major liability for us at all.
With Halliburton, got voted by the players most overrated player in the league, whatever that's been. What is it? Is it the funky jump shot? Is it that because he doesn't score 30 a game? What do you think people miss about his impact?
So I know this coach does not underrate him. Like in no sense, in no terms. I think he's one of the hardest covers in the league because he's got both. He can score, and then he's elite passer, elite jump. It reminds me like the LeBrons of the world, the James Hardens of the world. They can just fire passes on a dart to any spot on the court, and they're big. He's 6'7" and a half, 6'8", and so he can see over the defense. I think he's one of the elite guards in this league. That poll, I don't know. Those guys, they must not be watching the same film I'm watching, because I think he's elite.
Their last series got pretty chippy with Milwaukee. I just want to ask you, where do you draw the line between good competition, trash talk, and?
I don't know. Listen, our guys compete at a high level. We never tell them, hey, let's make this series chippy. Let's stir something up. I don't think that's our character. Our character is we have elite competitors, I don't think we need to go there. Like this isn't a boxing match. This is you know, you have to compete hard, you have to be physical, you have to have grit, you have to have resiliency, all those words. But we're not coming into this series saying, hey, we got to be, you know, chippy. Just gonna compete like we've been competing all year.
Outside from the
This is
five
the last
out,
question.
just what other challenges do you see from the Pacers?
What other challenges? Best transition offense in the league. I don't, you know, and they got a quarterback that knows how to master. He's a master at orchestrating transition. And then to their credit, they've surrounded him with elite speed. Right? Their roster, they got guys that can run. So that's number one. Obviously, Halliburton orchestrating the pick and roll. And then Siakam, don't forget he's their leading scorer, right? And you know, Tyrese is an incredible player, but you know, are we going to be able to deal with Pascal in that mid-post isolation defense? We're going to have to be tough and competitive and smart when he gets in an isolation.